Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video. This is episode number 481. Almost now at 500 episodes right here on NoDQ.com, the YouTube channel, and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Got your questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift. So let's get started with the first one today from Miss Big Daddy P. Do you see John Cena getting back into the WWE World Heavyweight Championship title picture after the Wyatt family feud? If so, do you think that he was to feud with Daniel Bryan if he's still going to be champion? Would feud with Daniel Bryan cause him to finally turn heel? Here we go with the will John Cena finally turn heel questions again. I figured it would be inevitable that John Cena and Daniel Bryan would have a rematch from last year's SummerSlam. Perhaps at this year's SummerSlam we'll get that rematch. I figured it was bound to happen at some point, and John Cena getting back into the WWE title picture was something that would eventually happen. I think that as far as a heel turn goes, don't count on it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. As long as John Cena is delivering the merchandise numbers, and as long as he's doing the Make-A-Wishes and WWE is happy with that situation, and he's still getting the big reactions. He came out on Raw this week and thunderous reactions. Same thing at Payback. I mean, the crowd, whether they were cheering him or booing him, he got an extremely loud reaction. So WWE's not going to mess with that if they don't have to. Now, yeah, I do think that possibly at Money in the Bank, regarding the WWE title and what's going to happen with that, if Daniel Bryan is unable to compete at Money in the Bank and the Money in the Bank matches for the title, I could very well see John Cena winning, and then that'll be Daniel Bryan's way to get back into the title picture. John Cena will offer him another shot, and there you go. We'll have John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. Or you can just have Daniel Bryan come back, beat Kane, and maybe John Cena will either win Money in the Bank again, or he'll challenge Daniel Bryan at the Battleground pay-per-view or SummerSlam. But either way, I think we will get the Cena-Bryan match sooner than later. Alright, this one comes from Ricky Lawson9. Hey Aaron, do you think that WWE should make Jerry Lawler retire? It's obvious that his commentary has been awful since the heart attack. It seems that he doesn't care for the product anymore. Well, I think the problem is that, Jerry Lawler is a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's been there for many years. He knows the routine. I don't know if WWE really feels that there's anybody else out there that can step up and fill that role and be able to perform on a live television show every week, somebody that has the experience. There's really nobody that WWE can come up with to replace Jerry Lawler. I think that is one issue, and WWE is stuck in their ways. They will stick with the guys that they have that have been loyal for as long as humanly possible. I do think something needs to be done about the commentary. I mean, Lawler has been a shell of his former self for years, even before the heart attack. And Michael Cole knows what he's doing. And like I said, he knows the routine, and he knows what to do out there, and that's why he continues to have that spot. But the three announcers, Cole, JBL, and Lawler, definitely not an excellent commentary team by any means. And I think that this past week's Raw was a perfect example. I felt that the one really weak thing about that segment was the announcing. The announcers were barely excited about it, very little enthusiasm, and I think that did hurt the segment a little bit. In my head, I'm picturing Jim Ross and how he would have reacted. He would have been over the top. He would have sold it like it was the most shocking thing you've ever seen, and he would have just ripped into Seth Rollins and blasted him for being the dastardly heel that turned his back on his friends. Michael Cole was just very passive. And I didn't really care for the announcing that much. So, I do think change needs to be made. Will it be made? Probably not for a while. Alright, this one comes from KillaDave10. Hey Aaron, long-time listener, second time asking. But at the Payback, do you think that it would have been a good time for CM Punk to return, since it was in his hometown of Chicago, while Triple H was down and try and get his revenge on the Authority? And here we go with the CM Punk questions again. Yeah, I mean, for a fan, would have been an excellent time for him to return. But for CM Punk, obviously wasn't the right time. CM Punk, I've said it before, I'll say it again, he will come back when he is mentally and physically ready to come back. Until then, there's no point in bringing him back when his mindset is not there in the right place. There's just no point in bringing him back, even if it's a good opportunity like it's his hometown of Chicago, or there's a storyline that calls for him to return. I mean, he needs to be wanting to come back and 100% both mentally and physically. And that's the bottom line. All right, this one comes from DB No 1992. Hey Aaron, first time asker. How would you book Damien Sandow? Would you try giving him a boost by giving him the Money in the Bank briefcase, or is it too late to do anything with him? Honestly, I hate to say it, I really feel that it might be too late to do anything with Damien Sandow at this point. He is stuck in that comedy role now, and I think he's better off joining 3MB at this point than being taken seriously as a headliner again. So I'm not sure what you could do. Maybe you could take him off television for a while and repackage him and give him a fresh start that way. But beyond that, there's not really much you can do with him at this point. And, people are going to see him in the same way that they saw Chavo Guerrero when he was doing all those goofy skits and losing a hornswoggle every week. Damien Sandow's not going to be taken seriously anymore. So maybe you could have him disappear for a while, bring him back, repackage him. Winning Money in the Bank is going to do nothing for him, I think, at this point. If anything, that would devalue Money in the Bank. There's not a whole lot that you can do with him at this point. Okay, this next question comes from Kevin3011. Hey Aaron, do you think that AJ Styles will get signed by WWE now that many independent wrestlers are getting called up, and more importantly, Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling stars? Please answer in video. I get asked every now and then about AJ Styles. Will he come back into the mainstream wrestling in the United States? And if it happens, it would be with TNA. I don't see WWE picking him up at this point. If they were going to sign him, they would have done it when he left TNA, and they didn't. And, it's been said that WWE is focusing on NXT and the younger guys that are coming into the business. And, WWE is not really interested in former TNA stars at this point. So that's just the reality of the situation. And, I just don't think it's going to happen. Anything's possible, but I think it's highly unlikely in all likelihood. All right, one more question here from Scrunch2012. Hey Aaron, with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns obviously heading for bright main event top-tier futures, do you honestly believe Dean Ambrose will eventually get that kind of push and be on the same level as Seth and Roman? Absolutely. Seth Rollins, or should I say Dean Ambrose, all three of them are going to have bright futures in WWE. WWE has done nothing but push these guys from the get-go. It's clear from the day they walked into WWE that these three guys were seen as the future of the company. And I think all three of them will be top-tier stars for several years to come, unless something catastrophic happens, like a serious injury to Dean Ambrose. I think he's going to be a major star. He can definitely talk, and that's gonna help him go far in WWE. That alone. And just the fact that he's been protected, he's been put over time and time again. The Shield has always been made to look strong. People take Dean Ambrose seriously. It's not like Damien Sandow, where he's seen as a joke by most of the fans. Dean Ambrose has been pushed very strong, and people look at him as a top-tier guy who can hang with the very best in WWE, from John Cena to Daniel Bryan. Dean Ambrose is seen at that level. So, absolutely, all three guys are going to go far in WWE. And the sky is the limit for those guys. I mean, who knows how far they'll go. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A Video. Thanks as always for checking out No DQ&A Video. If you're watching for the first time and you enjoyed the video, please subscribe it. Please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the very latest news and rumors regarding Money in the Bank and what's going on with the WWE title situation and Daniel Bryan. Will he be back in time for Money in the Bank? Stay tuned for all that, and I will see you guys next time for more.